Good morning. Good morning. How are you all on this wonderful, crisp and cool Monday? If you happen to be in California, like yours truly, Terry Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, coming to you live and in person on Monday, as I always do every Monday. And if you have questions, remember that Fridays are Ask Me Anything Fridays. So today we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, including Spider-Man. Did I like it? But before I get to that, I've got to do what I always do, and that is to let you know that you can be a part of my Patreon page, Terry's Tribe, $5 a month or $60 a year. So just skip that Starbucks once a month and you can be a part of this. Your voice is very important. Today, we had our monthly treasure chest. Terry has finally gotten into the rhythm of the treasure chest. The treasure chest is the drawing, and I'm going to cut here. Put your number in this barrel if you're a member, and you can get something cool sent to you if I draw your name out of the barrel. And don't join because you want something from there. I have a lot of members, but you can tell me what you like, and sometimes I send you stuff. I always over deliver, but I'd love to hear your voice and what you have to say. So I urge you to go to patreon.com/Terry Hardin and join. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. Make your decision, but it's really, really fun. We have a Zoom call every Wednesday, and today we just had our drawing. And one of the things that was offered and given away was this lovely mug. You see, I'm cleaning my garage, and rather than do eBay stuff, I just give it to my folks on, give it to my tribe. Yeah. So you don't all have to pay for shipping. This one, they agree to pay for shipping because it's a little heavier than mostly what I give. And then many of the patrons, many of the tribe, let me just say it that way. Many of the tribe donate stuff to the giveaway. So it's not about the giveaway. It's just about getting together and having fun. And it's silly and goofy and fun. And next month we're going to do Sweetheart of a Deal. We're going to do another one. I do them every month. And it's a cornucopia of everything. So I will show you really quickly out of the bag of wonderful things here that were won today. This pin that was donated by a member, and he put it in the thing today. He got it from here it is. He got it at the museum, and it's really cute. It's Donald Duck holding a plane and celebrates Disney's World War II exhibit that was at the museum. So people from all walks of life do this. It's really great. It's super fun. So if you want to be a part of it, we spotlight you so you can tell us about you. And sometimes I just send you stuff. So it's not all about what you get, but it's what you give. And so many givers there. Today, 2 people opted out of the treasure chest so that others could win. Because sometimes in the treasure chest, there might not be something that appeals to you. So you just, say, Terry, I'd rather opt out if you win stuff. And that's the thing that's super, super cool. So I had to tell you about that first. And then there's one more announcement I got to tell you, and then I'll say hello, and then I'll talk about Spider-Man. I promise. Okay. All right. Okay. The next thing I want to show you is announcing. Oh, let me just take a minute if I can. I'm going to switch some stuff. Sorry, I used to have 2 microphones, and I'm used to stepping away and another microphone picking me up, but we've changed the microphone to this one. And I only have 1. So forgive me if that was a little faint. But basically what I was saying is that I'd like to set this up so you can get a super clear picture of what I'm going to show you. And this space was taken up earlier by the barrel with all the winning numbers in it. There we go. Okay, so now I have the opportunity to show you what I want to show you. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Announcing the Cheshire Cat pre-sale. That's right. The Cheshire Cat is on sale now. So all you have to do is go to my website, which is terrihardin.com, and click on online store, and you can get yourself a Cheshire Cat. So let me tell you about the Cheshire Cat. There's his back right there. Isn't he cute? He's so adorable. And then we'll cut to this right here, this area right here for you. So you can actually see him live and in person. There he is. Isn't he cute? Bright, colorful, and his eyes and teeth glow in the dark. He's $250 and $10 shipping because I want to ship in priority, and priority is getting super expensive. So I'm sorry about that, but you can go there and order yours. The idea is to order quickly because people are picking their numbers. So if you have a number you like, reach out to me and pick your number, and then we can talk about the others. So you can see his size here. He's adorable. He will also be offered at MouseCon. You can actually hold him in your hand and examine him. This is the art proof, so he won't imprint on you. But you can see how big he is. You can look and examine him and see if you love him and see how cute he is and everything. And there he is. I've sold just under 20 of them, limited edition of 50, 250 a piece. It is a pre-sale, so I'm not delivering now. I will be delivering late February, early March. And as we get closer, I can tell you when that's going to be, okay? But with COVID and everything, I'm actually doing with a painter I truly love, and she's not living in California where I am, so she's going to ship to me. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that, as you know, the mail is questionable during COVID. So I'm going to send them priority. That's why I want to send them priority, because then they have less time. Priority, they work a little harder to get it to you, don't they? So there he is. Again, $250 each for this lovely little pussycat. This is my impressions line. So it sits alongside your Stitch or your Groot or your Oswald or whatever. His eyes glow in the dark, and the sign says, "I'm not all there," which is why his eyes and teeth glow in the dark. So there you go. I just wanted to let you know. You can post in the comments. You can email me or message me. Emailing me here, let me show you. I will show you. Here's how you can email me if you want to get one of your numbers, but understand the numbers are going fast. And then I'm going to ask you to go to the store and prepay it, or you can go to the store, order your cat by prepaying, and then I'll email you right away and say, what numbers do you want? Okay. So, for example, if I look in my phone, just as an example, let's see if I've got a response here. He hasn't responded yet. He may have had to go to work. But I reach out and I say, what number you want? You say 9, and then I check to see if 9's available. 9 is not available, by the way. It already got picked. But 1 through 50. So between 1 and 50. Well, 1 is taken because the person who picked the Cheshire Cat to do, I then sculpted it. So she gets number 1. But you just got to ask me and pick 3 numbers if you decide you want it. But that's it. Cheshire Cat ready, pre-sale, to be delivered late February, early March. And I'm not going to hang on to them if my painter gets done. But the thing is, as you see, there's lots of stripes on this little fella. So if you're going to paint 50 cats, times all these stripes, you got to make sure they're hand painted. Yeah, every single one is hand painted. And you just want to make sure that the cat, you just want to make sure that the cat, cat number 50 is as nice as cat number 1. And so that's why I allow my painters to maybe take a break. I don't want them to be machines about it, because all of these are hand painted. They will vary in their painting. You might see a couple of brush strokes, but the point is that's what I cherish more than anything about my sculptures is I hand sculpt them. Then they're cast up and then they are painted by hand. So there you go. If you want one, let me know. But there you go. That's what I wanted you to know about. You go to terriharden.com, click on online store, and buy your cat. He's right up in front, so you don't have to look. You don't have to go through the menu or anything. You can just click on the cat, and out you go. Yep. There you go. And if you are in Southern California, you can choose pickup and we'll set something up, okay? And you can save shipping. But otherwise, pay for shipping and you're good to go, okay? All righty. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Is there anything else? I'm going to be at MouseCon this Sunday. You'll get to actually hold the cat. So if you're coming to MouseCon, you can hold my art proofs, examine my art proofs, and decide if that's what you want, okay? Yeah, that's what you get to do. Yep. So that's what you get to do. So there you go. Hugs and loves to you guys. I'm really excited about this cat, and I don't know how I got it done when I'm working so hard with the Rolly Crump chess set, but there you go. Okay, Rolly Crump chess set is now being worked on as much as I can, but it didn't get a lot done this time because of taxes. So here we go, Spider-Man. And let's go over to your comments. And before I pop in, well, let's pop into, no. Let me tell you about Spider-Man. Okay, so many of you who have been listening to me before, and if you haven't, welcome. If this is your first time joining me, understand TERRI HARDIN, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer. I designed the Dragon's Lair in Paris. I've also been a Jim Henson Muppeteer since 1989. I met Jim in 1982, and then he came out and found me and put me in the Muppeteer world. And then I've also been with Disney for a very, very long time, but I've also done movies like Ghostbusters, Men in Black. So on Fridays, you can ask me any questions. You also might notice that I'm mixed. If you didn't notice that I'm mixed and maybe thought just a wild hairdo, how do I do it? It's because I'm mixed. I'm half black. I'm half white. So you can ask any questions you want Friday. Okay, just about anything. Feel free to visit my playlists on this channel, and you can see my early puppet stuff. You can see my Foster Farms chickens that I designed and created originally, and now they're created by Rick Lazzarini. He took it on and did the Boon Raku and everything, and we are the puppet performers for that. Tons of stuff to see, interviews, podcasts, whatever. It's all in my playlist. So one stop. Please subscribe if you like this freeway brain and all this crazy stuff you're seeing. Okay? Boy, have I forgot anything? No, except for Spider-Man. Let the other shoe fall, Terry. Okay, so right off the bat, surprise, you know me. I mean, those of you who know me know I'm not a Marvelite, okay? Not into Marvel. And when I heard there was another Spider-Man, I went, oh my goodness. And then I saw the preview and it had all these villains in it. And I went, oh my Lord. Because one of the things that's hard for Terry is multiple villains. Seriously, multiple villains exhaust me. I just want one villain and one fighter, and I'm better at it, okay? Not being a Marvelite, sometimes they hit and sometimes they miss. Like WandaVision, I absolutely fell in love with. However, my husband had to sit next to me and explain to me who Wanda was and who was that guy with her that looked like a robot, an alien. I had no idea. And Vision. And he had to explain to me who he is, because that is not my world. I love Star Wars, and I don't necessarily know everything Star Wars, but in 1977, when I went to see it over 67 times in a month, it changed my life. So lots happening. I got to actually tell George Lucas. I met with him on a thing called Captain EO with Michael Jackson, and I was able to tell George Lucas how he and that film helped me to get on the path to the art that I've been doing. So Google me if you really want to have fun with things that jump up, or I'm on 2 Wikipedia pages. Thank you, Joshua Schaefer. Women in Imagineering, and my own TERRI HARDIN page. So there you go. There's my history. So if this is interesting to you, my crazy life, whatever's going on, you want to join Patreon, you don't, you do, please consider being here. If you're seeing this and I'm not live right now, post in the comments, because I'd love to hear what you have to say. Okay? All righty. So I just saw Spider-Man yesterday. And here's why. COVID-19. All right. Spider-Man made it very clear, Sony made it very clear that Spider-Man was going to be in the theaters and only in theaters. But the problem was there were way too many people in the theaters, and I have a high risk husband who has a heart condition. So we just didn't want to take the chance of sitting next to people during this huge Omicron variant that seems to be able to get under the mask and pass the vaccines. We just didn't want that to happen. Yes, maybe if you've had your boosters, which we've had, and our shots, which we had, it'll be less, but we just don't want to get it, period. Period. Don't want it. So we've done everything and continue to do the precautions as best we can, and that is avoiding large crowds. But he really wanted to see it. So we just worked really hard not to hear anything spoilers. More for him than me. I don't think a spoiler would have ruined it, but I will tell you there were a few surprises there that I was glad I didn't hear about. Turns out that I really, really liked it. I was amazed. When I first saw the latest Spider-Man, this cute, kind of quirky, Tiggery kind of kid who's playing Spider-Man and Peter Parker, I really liked him. I think he was first in Avengers, right? He's just adorable. He tends to bounce in a direction without thinking, which reminds me of Tigger, which is my name says. So I've always really liked him. His origin story was a lot of fun. And then there was another movie where he was in Paris that I also enjoyed. So he's in for the majority of the movie, and I really, really enjoy watching him as an actor. I also love the girl who plays his girlfriend. She's adorable, and his best friend, he's amazing. They're all just a lovely group of people. But I have to ask myself, there were multiple villains and multiple stuff having, and at some point, just all in front of my face, which I really don't like. But yet I still like it. So what was the question? Why is Spider-Man, this particular one, with multitude of villains, et cetera, making someone like me? It's got all the elements that I don't like, and yet I fell in love with it. And I've come to one conclusion. Above effects came heart. This movie is about heart, and you have me at hello when you take the time to tell a story that centers around your heart. And I was just beyond words. I really planned to sleep through this movie as my husband enjoyed it because it had all the elements I don't like. Way too many lights, way too many effects, and way too many villains. But to my surprise, and yes, to my surprise, I absolutely flipped over it. I loved it. But it's because it was about heart. Every character in the movie I felt. I didn't only see, I felt this character, okay? I cared about every single character in the movie, including the villains. And this is the sign of a good director and really amazing writers. And I asked my husband, is this director different from other Spider-Man films? And my husband said, yes and no. Know that this director has directed all the ones with this brand, with this, what I'm calling the new Spider-Man, the new Peter Parker, the young one who is an Avenger, and he was introduced in Avengers, and then he went to Paris, and then blah, blah, blah. That to me is new. Understand, if you are a Marvelite, and I am really making you crazy right now because I'm not naming things properly, it's not my world. I am not a Marvelite. Every once in a while, something hits me and I fall in love with it, like WandaVision. Wow. I just absolutely loved WandaVision, but that doesn't happen often with me. I also like origin stories, like the original Captain America when he's introduced, and the second Captain America I think I like too. The Iron Man origin story, love that. Thor's origin story, love that. But when it gets to battling a bunch of villains like the early Spider-Mans did, I could care less. I didn't feel it. And Kirsten, what's her name? Kirsten Dunst, not a fan of her as an actress. Just don't think she has it. And she doesn't do anything for me in the role. So that was a problem. There were a lot of things that just didn't work for me. And not because they didn't work. They didn't work for me. Okay, that's the difference. If you're a Marvelite, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a Marvelite and certain Disney things you just don't get, that's because you just don't get them. You know, my husband says you're not the demographic. That's me when it comes to certain things in Marvel. I'm not the demographic. Okay. I did not like Loki at all. The Disney Plus series, but a lot of you did. Okay. So all I can say is I'm not that demographic. It wasn't made for me. And I move on. Yeah, I just move on. So I was really concerned about Spider-Man. First of all, I knew I was going to have to see it in a theater. So I really worked to make sure there's no one in the theater. Last night when we went to see it at the AMC, there were, count them, 6 people in the entire theater. Yes, score. Social distancing, bawamba. It worked great, which meant that we could eat, we could take our masks off occasionally to drink and stuff and not be worried that there were people right next to us. The second thing that I did with the theater, 6 people, yes, indeed, and the recliners. Don't know if you've been to a theater in a while, but they have these amazing recliners that, for one thing, if the movie's not your jam, you can catch a good nap, which is usually what I do with some of the Marvels. I'm sorry if that offends you. It's not meant to. But my husband gets to enjoy it while I have a nice nap, which is great. He doesn't care. He loves it. The other thing is there's a wall between every row of seats. Get this, guys, especially for the pandemic. A wall between each of the seats. So you're not seeing a phone light up, which is what I really loved about it before the pandemic. But now after the pandemic, I only need to concern myself with the people directly to our left and the people directly to our right, which are not quite 6 feet apart, but they are the lounge, I'd say maybe a foot away as opposed to like right on top of you when the seats are not recliners. So you've got the wall, and then it's also got distance. So people aren't, excuse me, pardon me, with their rump in your face. They actually can walk comfortably past you because you're in a recliner. That way you can decide less seating, which is great. And also you can see who's in the theater. Thank you, AMC, and choose accordingly. And here we were on a Sunday afternoon, a special savings show, and there were, count them, 6 people in the whole theater. 6 people. Perfect. And in our row, 1 person. All right. 1 person, 5 seats down. Brilliant. Maybe it was 2 people because one on the way under end, then 1 in the middle, and then us on the other end. It was perfect. And then down below, there was a couple, and then down below, 1 other person. Yeah. I got a shout out to the lady who was 4 seats down from us. She came alone. So when in doubt and you really want to see a movie, if no one will go with you, be bold, be brave, and go see it yourself. Don't miss out. And it was great. It was great. I got to tell you, I did not worry about my husband. We masked up as they ask you to do all through the theater. And it was great. So did we have to wait till later? The only concern my husband had was spoilers. And you guys were just no spoilers. We really got all the surprises we wanted. And because I'm with my husband and with all of you who are Marvelites, I asked him as we're watching the credits, is there an Easter egg at the end? Because I've been trained, and he said, I don't know. I have stayed away, but I will give you this. You got to stay till the end of the credits because yes, if you went and you cut out early, because you had to go get a milkshake or something, or you had to go see your mom or whatever, you're going to need to see it again because there's an Easter egg at the very, very, very end. Yes, there is. I'm not going to tell you what the Easter egg is, but I will tell you there is a second one that often happens with these Marvel movies. You Marvelites know, right? The second one happens at the very, very end. So you got to sit through all those people and cheer them on for all the hard work they did. They deserve it, don't they? And then you get to see that Easter egg at the end. So you may have to go see it again if you cut out early. But we stayed there till the very end because my husband knows this. And we work in the film industry. So we always sit to the end of the credits, Easter egg or no Easter egg. We always do that out of respect for our fellow entertainment industry folks. But not everybody does that. They've got places to go, people to see. But just know there is an Easter egg at the end. So bottom line, guys, is I absolutely thought this movie was wonderful. I'd love to own it on DVD. I really, really was impressed with it. I was bedazzled because it has all of the makings of me to really, really not like it. and I was fully expecting to not like it because you add more than one villain, and I'm not a fan. I don't care what the movie is. You remember the Batman movie, and was Batman, speaking of a multitude of people as Batman, Batman was George Clooney, and you had Mr. Freeze played by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Poison Ivy played by Uma. Is that correct? See, really not my jam. But anyway, I couldn't stand both. And then I couldn't handle it. I could not handle two villains as much as I couldn't handle Tommy Lee Jones as the Two-Face guy and the Riddler. Just give me one villain, please. But this movie, Spider-Man, just really knocked it out of the park for me. They really handled it well. They made the writers and the director made sure we felt the vulnerability of the villains. And that's what I always like about a villain is, you can have a villain that's all bad, but the vulnerability of a villain makes you love them. Case in point, Maleficent. Let's take the animated Maleficent, who is, would you agree, seriously deadly, right? And she's all there in the animated Sleeping Beauty, listen well. But then we go to her castle, and she's been on the looking out for Briar Rose, and she can't find the princess. And she comes to realize in her castle that her minions have been searching all the cradles. For 16 years, they're all the cradles. And she sits down and she puts her head in her hands, and the ravens next to her, and she said, "They're a disgrace to the forces of evil." And there we feel her vulnerability, that she's not all mean, but she has her challenges. Oh, they're a disgrace, and this is one of the reasons Maleficent is one of my favorite villains. One of them that's come up and coming after Walt was one that I also love, which is Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. She is absolutely by far one of the funniest characters, and I'd love to sculpt her. I don't know if there's a market for her, but I adore her. She just cracks me up. I laugh every time she's taking, she takes the mallet and Kronk is handing her heads of the Emperor and she's smashing them. Oh, and then she turns into the cat and goes, "This is my voice. I love the vulnerability of a good villain. So I love a good scary villain. They need to stay villains, which means that the live action ones of Maleficent, the only thing I like about the live action Maleficents is the fact that Angela Jolie really embodies that character. But the stories are, and the subject, Ooh, I hate the live action Maleficents. A lot of those live actions really don't work. But the Cinderella, Kenneth Branagh directed, that one really works. So anyway, back to Spider-Man. I kept saying to my husband as we were driving back, why do I love it? I don't understand something about it. So I had to say it's about the heart. Okay. The heart in characters there. You just feel the whole movie. Thank you, Sony, allows me to feel. Thank you for letting me go through every emotion, tears, joy, suspense. All of it was there. And I just loved it. Just was so surprised. So yeah, go see Spider-Man. I'd like to see it again. Not in the theater. I'm done with that. But and tons of action movies during the previews. We just kept going, because there's so few people going, I guess. But the theaters were full with Spider-Man. There were times there were only 2 seats available and they were just packed. And I just couldn't have it. I just could not take my husband in that, nor did he want to go. But if you can, la, and keep from talking Spider-Man like we did, we got to see it as though, we had no spoilers. You guys were just lovely. And we got to see it as though we saw it opening day, but safely. So that's it. There you go. Let's see what you all have to say, because that's what's really fun anyway, isn't it? Yes, indeed. Hello, Jacob. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me. So as you may already know, I have been practicing on my tracing. Congratulations. I'm happy to hear that. Tracing is a great way to understand what muscles are used when you're drawing, depending on the style. Many people will start with anime because that's what you love. You watch these animes and you love these animes, from Pokemon to various other ones. I have some older ones with Dr. Tezuka, the father of anime. Many of you may think it was Miyazaki, but it was actually Dr. Osamu Tezuka. You can ask me about that on Friday. But congratulations on that, Jacob. I'm so excited to hear that. Hi, Evan. I know. Did I really draw it out? Like, you were like, if you don't tell me soon, I'm gonna, pull you from the screen. And you were like, okay, when is she ever gonna say anything? Please say something. Well, I know, and I apologize for that. I just wanted to make sure that everybody that I got the I always have to get the ads out first. Nobody sponsors my channel. I have really great people. All of you are really great, but I have a small number of followers, so nobody's offering me the commercials. But then again, I kind of like that I don't have commercials. It's kind of you know what I mean? So what are you going to do? But I apologize for that, Evan. Hate to have done that to you. Good morning, Adam. How nice of you to join me on this side. Adam is a part of my tribe and of the Terry's tribe, and I really appreciate it. Darren Michaels. Now here's Darren. Hi, Terry. Darren was also, he's a member of the tribe, and he said, he never seems to, he hadn't won yet, and all of a sudden he won today. And I even, showed that there he was. So that was really cool. Hey there, guys. How's it going? I'll come back to this one so I don't keep turning to read over here. That way you can look. I look, like, hey, here it is for you. So there you go. Hi, guys. How's it going? Can. Yes, I can. I really do. I really do. And I really can. Yeah. When we get the opportunity, and we can talk on the Zoom call, those of you who are the tribe members, we can talk more specifically about Spider-Man if we're not spoiling it for others. But honestly, if there are people who are worried about COVID-19 like I was, concerned about it, then you may not have seen it yet, and I don't want to be the one to spoil it for you. But I did want to tell you about the Easter egg at the end, because everybody got up except for us. We were the only two that were left in the theater when the lights came up, and the cleaning crew, because my husband is like, there could be. Well, we always wait anyway. We read through all the names. So it's just what we do because we're in the entertainment industry ourselves. But he had taught me that there were these Easter eggs at the end. So you got to sit all the way at the end. Very smart on the production for doing that, because it does have people see the names, even if they're eating, they're cleaning up or they're holding their coats, waiting. At least the names are going through, and it gives the people due justice, Yeah. Good morning, Terry. I'm finally out of Facebook jail, so is not watching today. Joe is. Welcome, Joe. I know people are opinionated. You never know, but welcome to the USA, and I'm really glad you're back. I'm really glad Joe's back. My pun master, right, Joe? Evan says, I have the biggest crush on Tom Holland, so I'm just as happy to get to watch him for 2 hours. Yeah, Evan, he's adorable. But they're all, those three are really adorable. I absolutely love the young girl who plays his girlfriend. She just has she's so sweet and kind. And then his best friend is such a geek. I mean, don't we have a friend like that? Or aren't we that person, that wonderful geeky person who just has this brilliance, but is, geeks are my life because I are one. So I think that's what I love about these characters is they're wonderful. And again, I don't want to do any spoilers about the movie if you haven't seen it. I know it's been out for a long time, but you can understand that because there were only going to be 6 people at the showing of the theater and recliners is when we finally got to see it. My husband was just so excited. He kept saying, well, I got to vote on it because he's an art director and he votes for the Academy with the art directors division. But that honestly, between you guys and me, that was only part of the reason, he's got to vote on it. He loves this stuff. He doesn't always love all of the movies. Um, but he likes seeing all the movies because he likes the characters. So what was it? The Immortals, the Essentials, the whatever the one Angela Jolie was in. Yeah, man, we didn't like that one at all. He really didn't like that one. So we won't be having him talk about that. But I just found it like seriously boring and dull. And I just don't think of Marvel characters as being dull. So I think you paid a lot of money for something that was like, personally, that one. Whew. So that one was tough. But Spider-Man, lots of action, lots of excitement. I found myself doing this. I found myself crying. I got startled one time and almost lost my popcorn. Back to the old days of Star Wars when I really had a good time. I mean, other movies do that for me, but lately, especially with Disney films, Disney tends to soften the blow of something that is sad by putting something comedic at the back so that you don't feel that sad. And Sony and this Spider-Man don't do that. You are swimming in sadness in some areas and shock and terror and what's going to happen. I mean, it's good. It's good. Hail to the director or directors and hail to the writers. Mwah! I love you. Keep writing it. Don't let anyone infiltrate what you're doing because you guys are just doing a great job. You changed my life yesterday as far as being able to sit through a movie over 2 hours and actually love it with more villains. So hats off to you. I love you. You're amazing and you changed me. Hello, Jessica. Did I make it? Did you make what? Yes, you're here. Check it. You did. There you are, Stephen. You're there, buddy. Yes. Jacob says, see, what I do is find as I get coloring pages, pictures, or outline art, because I am sure that coloring pages, pictures usually have an outline added to them. That is correct. And see what I like to do. Yes, and you can play with your lines, okay? And then when you're feeling comfortable about those sketches, try some on your own, drawing on your own again. And then when you start to really feel your oats, Jacob, then you might want to take a class with someone who is going to help you find your style. I always do that. I feel if you're not learning, you might as well dig that 6 foot and lay in it, that 6 foot plot and lay in it because you're done. Learning is one of the most inspiring things that helps you feel alive. And I just finished taking a class from an amazing guy. You can see him here on YouTube, 1000. He does these amazing murals, just so whimsical and fanciful and lovely. And I took his class, came across my email, and it said take a class with him. And I could not get it to work for months because I'm so busy. But finally, I cut out a little bit. I'm still haven't done his last 2 lessons because I've had to put my paintings away. But I can access the class at any time. And he taught me he gave me a different perspective. So this is the nice thing about other artists. When you learn from them, and he's a young one, and I like learning from all ages because you never know what another artist's perspective is going to be. So I'm wanting to find Terry's painting style, like Terry's sculpting style. I've nailed it. But Terry's painting style needs work because I haven't painted in years. When I last painted, I think I was about 10 or 11 or something. Acrylics just weren't working. Well, acrylics have come a long way, and I really enjoy painting with them now. And people like 1000 have helped me to crack open my brain and start to play with the whimsical side of myself. Am I there yet? No, I'm not there yet. And if you decide you want to see some of that stuff, if that helps you and stuff, I could show you some. I started with a self-portrait because then no one could complain if it didn't look like them. I hadn't painted in acrylics at all. And I took a class with the lady and said, if it doesn't look like me, so what? Because it's me. So it's safe. Sometimes you'll take that so that if somebody says, yeah, I like it, but it doesn't look like me, you don't need to hear that negative stuff when you're just learning. You give yourself the best odds that you can give you. So congratulations on that. Keep it up, Jacob, because the tracing really helps you to develop those muscles when you start to draw. You can say, okay, this is kind of the feel for a curve and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. You'll start to also accumulate bezel, what is it called? The bezel templates with the swirlies so you can lay them down and use those. You can, I mean, digital is great. Digital is great. Darren says, Evan Hunter, me too. And I love that you guys speak to each other. Thank you. Thank you. Linda, you liked it, eh? Congratulations. I was very surprised. There were people who reached out to me. I cannot tell you who, but they said, loved it so much they'd seen it 3 times in the theater. Now, if you're a Stubbs member for AMC, you can go on Discount Tuesdays and really save some money. I think we saw Ghostbusters Afterlife for $6 a piece. So, I mean, we were talking about it the other day, how we remember it was 60 cents to go to a movie theater. I used to go to the Cornell in Glendale. 60 cents for the movies. Yeah. Those days are gone. Used to pay 66 cents for a gallon of gas. Oh! Hi, Jessica. Yes, please email me because she won today on the treasure chest. So I don't want to send it to the wrong address. Yes, Jessica, thank you for giving me a heads up on that. Bob says, the tribe is so cool. Terry's Patreon page, I look forward to it. I'm inviting all of you to join. You will enjoy it for $5. Money well spent. Thank you, Bob. Bob is a giver. And by this, I mean Bob and his wife, Rose, the entire family basically adds to our tribe in how we can do something nice for someone else and make us feel a whole lot better and not necessarily do it by spending money. He has tons of ideas and we love hearing them. He'll tell us stories. One of the cutest ones was that he was surprised some Disney Imagineers remembered him. He is memorable. Him and his wife are memorable. You're never going to forget them once they come into a room, but it was really sweet that he thought they could. It's kind of like me thinking you could forget me when I have this and these. I mean, really? And it's because there's not a lot of us like they're out there. It's not that we're so amazing and stunning and whatever. It's just that we're different. And vive la différence, as so many people say, right? Yeah. Jacob says, is to kind of move away from that and start to use your no actual pictures of like people and stuff, but I'm having some trouble trying to visualize where the outline would be. Indeed. But you'll get it. And I don't know what program you're using, but when you start to like pull in a photograph that you like, let's say it's a cat, and you like the picture of the cat. The nice thing about digital is layers. Oh my goodness. This is the best thing when trying to learn or practice or whatever is layers. When trying to color or anything, layers. Whenever I do something and my tribe is still waiting for my gift, I think I'm going to do a sweetheart gift this time. It was supposed to be a Christmas gift, but I got really overwhelmed. So I'm going to give them a sweetheart gift, which I didn't tell them yet. But anyway, I usually do the drawing on one layer and then pull up another layer. Just like tissue paper, right? But on digital, it's clear. And I put all my color underneath the line work so I don't have to worry about it going over the black line. So that's a little hack that I do, and I love it. There's also in Procreate a way that you can just pull it down and it will fill if you want to use the same one, or just what I do is, let's say you do a drawing of a cat, then you go and you duplicate that layer, duplicate that layer, and then you just pull it down and fill. And the color will just fill that spot for you. You don't have to all the way through. And it's perfectly aligned with the layer on top so that you can use some of the tools there. It's very cool. Layers are really, really cool. So in the case of if you want to do a face, let's say I want to do my face, I could take a photograph of myself and then I put it on a layer in the program. And then I don't make it 100% opaque. I pull it back. That way, when I'm drawing my lines over, I can kind of see. And then you can turn that photo layer off and on to see how you're doing. So picture, no picture, picture, no picture, picture drawing, picture drawing, picture drawing, and it'll help you. Okay. If you're not understanding what I'm saying, perhaps I can demo it on the Ask Me Anything. Okay. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay. Yeah. Because it really does help you to do it. But that's for then. Okay. The Ask Me Anything day. Yeah. You can reach out and let me know. Michelle, Bob's right. The tribe is fun. Come join us. She's lovely. Everybody is just, we've had so much fun there. We talk about any and everything. So it's not like how to do, if you want to learn how to do certain things, we talk about on the Zoom call. That's every Wednesday at 11. And then the Mondays I kind of set things up, and Fridays I answer questions. So I'm happy to demo stuff. Light board, which a lot of people like paper. So I suggest there's a light board you can get for $20. And if you're someone who doesn't even have the $20, you can take 2 sheets of paper, the drawings underneath, the papers on top, and put it on your window with the sun shining through. And the window acts like your light board, doesn't it? Yeah. Don't try it at night because you need the sunshine. But there's all kinds of little hacks that I've got. So if you need them, just ask on Friday. Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Jacob. And thank you, Michelle, for saying those lovely words. And thank you, Darren Michaels, for saying that. Glad to have you back. Darren's been away for a while, so it's great to have him back. Sorry for such long, different sentences. It's just that the chat thing on YouTube will only let me type 200 words. Just kidding. We get it. We get it. Okay. I just assumed it might be spell check, which is the biggest imp in the world. Don't you think spell check is fae, meaning it's the impish fairies that you like to mess with your words and make you seem like you don't know what you're saying or you can't type? That's what I think. That's my belief. Yeah, that's my belief. Thank you, Darren. Thank you. So are you. It's like I said, it's great to have you guys back. I love the tribe. This Wednesday, 11 o'clock, we're going to the Zoom. And the Zoom call, we get to like talk for real, and say what do we want. So there could be the Spider-Man. Oh, if everybody's seen Spider-Man in that group and they want to talk specifics, we can talk specifics because it's a private channel. But we don't want to spoil it for anybody. I don't like it when the spoilers happen. And I'm so grateful to all of you who just love Spider-Man, and many of you who saw it 3 and 4 times, were so sweet and considerate of my feelings and my husband's feelings. So I really, really want to thank you for that, because it really was a great adventure. A great joke. You're going to love this one. See, Joe, you have competition. If Muppets everywhere started walking and talking by themselves, that would be quite the phenomenal do. Cute. You see how I read that? See, you typed that very well. Very well. Joe says, Google me sounds so not only and also like a modern day Elvis movie. Yeah, I once was at a training. Like I said, I love to learn. And the guy said he was from it was Margaritaville guy. Margaritaville, that guy. Wasting away. He was there singing. And he said if we didn't know who he was, to Google his name. And so that's what I say. Google my name. Yeah. Buffett, Jimmy Buffett. Yeah, Jimmy Buffett. He'd say, if you want to know more about me, just feel free to Google my name. I understand, because, he was in a time when I was, it was music I like. And it doesn't mean that you younger people out there aren't retro. Many of you are into the 80s music. I heard the other day that vinyl is making a comeback. The records, they're making a huge comeback. One of the reasons, I think, besides being cool, is that the art had a place to be. A musician, a pop star artist, someone like the Beatles or ABBA or Jimmy Buffett could do the art on the cover, because you had this huge area. Then you could open it up and have more in the middle. Like, I have a great album by Michael Jackson that he signed for my mother, that has Billie Jean on it, and it's him on the front, and then when you open it up, it's him reclining and looking all sexy Michael Jackson style. And then you flip the back and you've got more. And then you could pull the albums out. A lot of times you could actually pull the record out, and they would be clear, or they would be a color, or they would be something cool. So I love the idea that vinyl's coming back. I hope that gives you an opportunity to see how art can work. Because on a CD, you just get the front, don't you? You don't really get a cool... sometimes people will try and put books in there and they're nice, but really doesn't beat an album. I'm trying to remember the group, Grand Funk something. The group that said, we're an American band. We're an American band. We're coming to your town. We'll shut your, that guy, those group. They had a great album, and I can't remember the name of it, but it came with 3D glasses, and the whole thing was done so that when you put the glasses on, they look 3D. I'm telling you, vinyl rocks. The albums just are gorgeous. Just so many beautiful opportunities if you want to do an album that opens or whatever. So many of you who maybe weren't around during this peak of vinyl or the cassette tapes are going back into them because you're loving them. And good, I say good for you, because a lot of the music today I can't really sing with. So I really like songs from every era that you can sing with. Do 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 do, for example. I haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Now, Joe, is your chance. If you are like me, who didn't want to go with a bunch of people indoors because Omicron is what it is, just get online with your nearest theater and look for times that are, I was really thinking I was going to have to take my husband during a Tuesday, Wednesday, a Thursday in the afternoon when people are at work. But this Sunday, because the movie has been out for such a long time, 6 people in the theater. It was beautiful, just beautiful. And you'll find that way too. You might even be 2 people in the theater. This happened when my husband needed to see Endgame. I always say Ender's Game. That's not right. Endgame, the second part of the Avengers series, which I actually took a nap. Sorry, wasn't my cup of tea, except for Rocket. I love Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy. My dog's named after that character. I love that character. But I'm digressing here. My husband said to me at the time, before we see Endgame, we've got to see Captain Marvel. And when we went to see Captain Marvel, there was myself and my husband and one other guy in the theater. That's it. So it can happen. It can indeed happen. Also, another thing that AMC is doing, and probably many other theaters are doing as well, is you can rent the entire theater. And if you time this right with the theater, it can run you anywhere from $300 to $600 to rent the theater. But think about you and 20 to 40 people. And you say to yourself, it can be your friends, your family, your pod of COVID, safe people. And forgive me. There we go. Woo! Almost went down the wrong place. It can give you the opportunity that, let's say you can go see, let's say you decide you want to rent a theater and you want to see Spider-Man. Okay. It's about, in some theaters at AMC, it's $600, $550, something like that, which is a bit high. Because you figure if you take 40 people and each person pays $10, it's still only $400, right? But if each person pays, a little, you could divide it up and then each person pay for a ticket and you're all together privately. Or if you're someone who just wants to spoil your sweetheart, pick up the bill and you're only 2 in the theater. You have the whole theater to yourself. Yeah. So anyway, renting the theater is a cool idea. Not all the movies were interesting to me, but there is a theater here where it's about $300. So 20 people, $300, So each person pays a little over 10. I can't do the math, but they agree to do it, which is like the price of a ticket probably. Yeah. But it's all you. You can sit wherever you want, do whatever you want. Yeah. 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 So this is a clever idea too, I think. I asked my husband if he wanted to do it. His birthday, forgive me. I just realized I had not had breakfast and it's sitting over here. Anyway, deconstructed breakfast for Terri because of this. But getting back to you, you can rent this theater and take your family members or whatever and see a movie of your choice. They give you a list of movies. You can reserve the theater for your sweetheart or your sweetheart and your friends, or you have a party there. It's very clever. Very, very clever. Something I'm thinking about. Might be fun to do. If I can find a movie that I like, Yeah. I just thought it was a good idea. And you can control the pandemic stuff, right? Because you have the whole theater, so they clean it and do everything. AMC's very good about that. You wear your mask, but they're all people that you know. Maybe everybody's had a COVID test or everybody's vaccine and a COVID test, but you can regulate it and have a real party. Yeah, it's very clever. Very clever. Anyway, nowadays, dear Joe, just look at the seats and you will see that less and less and less people, and then get the recliner. Because you are more than 6 feet front to back, and there's a wall. Okay. So it's just great. I love you theaters that have done that, and you have that wall. So it's just beautiful. Just a great way to see a movie. And especially, they didn't plan the pandemic, but it really does help during this time of concerns that we have when we have high risk family. Deanna, that's the only superhero movie she will watch. Well, there you go. See, I was a Thor fan. Okay. And when we start to talk more specifics of Spider-Man, I will talk about some of the villains that I had no idea. My husband had to tell me about them because I did not recognize them. And that's because I don't necessarily see a lot of movies. So, the Marvel movies. Yeah. I don't want to get too specific here because Joe hasn't seen it, and where there's one, there's many. Have you ever rode the Snow White Scary Adventures ride? The one, the evil queen animatronic, and it spins and turns around into a witch? Yes. But where is that? Where is that Scary Adventures ride? I did ride it, but I think I rode it in preview before it was installed. That happens as an Imagineer. You can go to a particular building, usually the Tahunga building, and they have it all set up, and you can experience before it goes into the park. So let me know, Jacob, what park that is. But I remember that. I can't even remember the ride now, but you had the witch from Wizard of Oz. And the same thing, we were at the facility and we watched it before it was going to be installed. I don't know if it ever was, but all of that stuff you get to see as an Imagineer prior to it going in. Yeah, you get tickets and everything, just like you're going to a preview as a pass holder back in the day. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really, really cool. So I feel like I've ridden it, but I don't think I rode it at Disneyland or Disney World or wherever it is. I rode it at Imagineering. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, says Evan, not just because of Tom, but he helps. I love that you were a non-Marvel fan and you loved it. I love that these people thought enough about me. I felt like they thought they wanted to bring in something that everyone could enjoy. Not so over my head that I felt like I was lost. And if I was lost, which I wasn't. I was in one area, but I'm not going to tell you what. My husband's right there to explain it to me. And don't we, if we're a non-Marvelite and we have a husband or a spouse or a significant other partner or whatever, that is a Marvelite, that you've got them to explain. I have a friend who's like me. You don't have to give me the whole backstory. Just explain to me that character in as tight of area as you can, simple as possible. I don't need to know the whole comic book history of it, which is funny because a lot of you from Marvel want to tell us the whole thing. Well, back in the blah, 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 blah. And for me, I just need to know, who is that? Where did they come from? So in the case of Vision during WandaVision, I just wondered if he was an alien or a human or what was he? And the answer could be a robot. For example, if I'm wrong, an android, a whatever. And then you go, okay, great. You don't need to tell me anymore. I just was wondering, he looks alien. How come now he's human? Things like that. But, and if you haven't seen, I'm just going to turn my tea off because I'm done drinking it. If you haven't seen WandaVision on Disney Plus, it's definitely great for non-Marvelites. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great series. And I was a kid during Dick Van Dyke's show, Bewitched, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very reminiscent of that. So that's why I loved it as well. But this one, super fresh, super wonderful. Spider-Man. Yeah. Knocked me for a loop, honestly. Thank you for saying that. Thank you, Evan, for saying that. I don't consider myself a Marvelite exactly, says Joe, but I have enjoyed all the Marvel movies up to now rather immensely. They're really very well written. Yeah, you are a Marvelite. Sorry. Own it. You may not be a mega Marvelite, which is someone who knows all the history, can say the dates, all this kind of stuff that us non-Marvelites really aren't interested in, but you get with another Marvelite and you guys will just rock it, you know? I need to know the characters. So in the case of WandaVision, they were calling her Wanda and they were calling her Scarlet Witch, and I was confused, for example. So my husband said, keep watching and if it's not revealed to you by the end of the episodes, I will explain it. And it was. So, aha, I said, okay. I just love that series. But I like, for example, to be honest with you, Joe, I did not like Endgame. Oh, so many people love that movie, and I did not. It was just too much sensory overload for little old me. And it's not that, for you guys understood it, you got it, but I just couldn't stand all the different. I mean, there were so many characters in there. It was like, here's the kitchen sink, and here's the cups, and here's the utensils, and here's this, and here's that. And oh, yeah, no. Oh my gosh. I just couldn't handle it. So not my movie. Let me just say that. Not my movie. Did not enjoy it at all, except when Rocket was on screen. Then I enjoyed it. And that blue dude. I think the blue dude was still there, but I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah. But most of it, no. Just painful for me. Just needles in the eyeballs time. Seriously. Rough. Just not for me. Not for me at all. So I was really grateful that Spider-Man, this one, considered me as a human being and considered the person sitting next to the Marvelite who gives you a lot of forgiveness because they love the genre like I do with some Star Wars, except for Disney has not really been good to Star Wars. I'm just going to say, took the teeth out of it. And Sony, that's one of the things I love about the Spider-Man is they left the teeth in. You really can't be involved in a movie unless you have good and bad and scary and happy. It can't all be fluffy. Even in animation, they don't make it all fluffy. So it just, I can't stand stories like that. Ugh, I gotta feel them. I want to feel them. Don't want to just see them. Gotta feel them. And Spider-Man hits it on all marks. I felt everything and I'm so grateful to them. So thank you. Thank you for that comment, Joe. Jacob says, I absolutely love the Country Bears movie. I wish that town that Barry and the Bears live, and the movie was real, would move there in a heartbeat. Just kidding. Well, the Country Bear Hall is an actual hall, and it's in the Disney, what do they call that? I want to say the Disney Forest, but it's not right. Disney Ranch. Okay, so Disney has a ranch that you can only get to and get on if you're filming a movie. And when I was doing the Country Bears, we had some challenges with extras for a few of the scenes where we had to populate it with people. And I offered you guys, people like you, I sent out an email, said, send me back an email if you want to be a part of this. And about 50 to 75 of you are in that movie. If you look at the back of the Country Bears, you may recognize some people you know, because lots of them were in that movie at the end. And the producers and directors fell in love with you guys because you guys are just givers. And they didn't have to, they just loved you. You stayed for a long time. You did anything you could to support the scenes and to support the show. And then you got to walk around and see the ranch. The Country Bear Hall is still actually there. So it's beautiful. A lot of times Disney was using it for company parties or executive events, but it's there and it's cool. Very cool. I was glad they didn't tear it down. So it actually does exist. It's very wonderful. It was great. That was great. So Almost Famous bus was the bus that was used in the Country Bears. So the Almost Famous movie, that bus is the Country Bear bus. Yeah. The Country Bear, yeah. So yeah, we got to sit in the Almost Famous bus because of the Country Bear bus. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I saw Coco, I was literally the only person in the entire auditorium. You probably, yeah, you see, isn't that great? You didn't have to pay $300 for your own theater. It's fantastic. And during COVID, that's, you want to be sure you've got that distance happening. Who wants to get it? Not me. So there you go. Yeah. Joe, great. Awesome. Adorable. It's cool, isn't it? Yeah. Good morning. Hello, Connie Lane. Our grandson wants to take me to see Spider-Man when it's safer for us. Looking forward to being with him. Spider-Man is just a plush. Stay safe. Well, Connie, now's the time. So go into the website, AMC website, and start to look at times under 30%. I was surprised. We went and saw it yesterday, Sunday at 3 p.m. 6 people in the theater, Barca loungers. So it's the lounges that have the walls in between each row. And in order to do that, they allocate the length of the recliner plus 3 feet, which is about 10 feet from the back of the wall. So people are walking past you, but they're 3 feet away from you because your feet are out. Yeah. And then there's a wall. And then there's the next row of recliners. And then there's a wall. And the next row of recliners. I'll tell you, this is genius. It really does protect you. And then all you have to worry about is the people on your side. So check the theater. When you see there's just a few people, I went in and took a look yesterday at 11 and saw there was a 3 o'clock show, and I booked it, and 6 people, that was it. And so we were on to the right of the row, then 4 big recliner chairs, maybe 5, then 1 young lady watching, and then 4, maybe 5 recliner chairs before people were on the other end. And then the next row down had 2 people, and then so you figure 2 plus 1 plus 2, 5, those, and then that was it. Yeah. So you were very safe. It was awesome. Awesome. So just sort of monitor it. Understand that at some point the theaters are going to start replacing Spider-Man because we're getting into that area where there's so few people seeing it. But you could go now. So take a look and do the recliners so that you have only the people here to worry about. You don't have to worry about the people in front, and you don't have to worry about the people in back because there's walls. Wonderful. Really a great way to see it and feel super safe. Darren Michael says, good morning, Connie. Well, there you go. Look at that. You got a nice little Darren Michaels hello. I love going to the movies alone. Yeah, I did too. Until my husband came along. Now we love going together. Yeah, it's awesome. Bugs Bunny did that in Hairdo, 1949. Excuse me, pardon me. Exactly. I beg your pardon me. Yes, exactly. And it was that, rump in your face thing, which nowadays you don't even want that. Yeah, so there you go. Angie, there you are. I was beginning to wonder. Welcome. Was missing you there a little bit. I saw this neat movie theater on Instagram last night. This woman surprised her kids with their own room in the movie theater. It was so neat. They were a slide in there. Yeah. So people are coming up with cool ideas in order to keep you safe because they don't want to lose. They don't want you to lose your theater experience. And they just want to make it so that you have the benefit. Yeah, it's wonderful. The recliners are my thing. Boy, I just sit back and I have this beautiful long coat I use as a blanket, a pillow. Oh, I'm asleep if it's not my kind of movie. So my husband can enjoy it. He can have a great time. And I'm not sitting there going, I have to see it, We all have movies that we drag our loved ones to, and then they drag us to. But this time I knew how much he wanted to see Spider-Man. And I mentioned Endgame and Captain Marvel. I was actually touring. That was 2019. And I flew home for the weekend so that he had someone to go with. And as soon as we were done, I flew back out for my event on that Monday. Yeah. So I'm willing to do it for him because he does it for me. Yeah. And bless him. I love him because he's subjected to some movies that just aren't his thing with me. I think he kind of likes Jackie Chan movies, but I watch all Jackie Chan movies. I think he thinks animation is okay, but I'm obsessed with animation. Sometimes no. So bless his heart for just signing up and going with me to certain movies. And I do the same for him. So there you go. Joe says he never leaves early. I always watch the credits. Since the 70s, I've been a committed credit watcher. Well, someone in the industry, I'm forced to, because if you want to see who puppeteered a movie, usually you have to put your bunny slippers on and wait 10 minutes, and then the puppeteers scroll up, okay? I've been very fortunate in a couple of movies. Men in Black, I'm listed with the cast as a puppeteer, which I love. Center, like it's 2 minutes and my name is there in the first Men in Black. And then in Country Bears, it's right up front too. So yay. In Ghostbusters, it's completely forgotten. They dropped a bunch of names when I did Ghostbusters, but luckily Richard Edlund took a page out in Variety, the Daily Variety, which is a newspaper for the entertainment industry and those who love it. And he took a full page ad and there was my name in there. So bless him for that, to say, yes, she did do it. Here it is. And they did do it. There were tons of names that were left out because it can be at the producer's discretion and they'll drop names. But nowadays, I think the producers realize that that's part of the reason that you go is you want to know who's doing what. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what it takes to do it. Spider-Man, so many studios had a hand in making that what it was. It's beautiful, just beautiful. By the way, says Darren, there is a great website called aftercredits.com that will tell you there are Easter eggs during and after the credits. That's nice. They do it in a way that says yes, and you can choose to see what they are or not. The nice thing about the Marvel line of movies is they are consistent. A lot of times they will do an Easter egg right in the middle-ish, towards the front-ish, to kind of say, here's your first lily pad, and then they'll do one at the end. Now, there's also several Easter eggs during the movie that I have no clue about, but that's when my husband, after the movie is over, he'll kind of tell me, you remember this, that was here, this, that leads to this, which is that, and this is here, and remember you liked that, well, that goes from here to there, and remember you saw this, well, that has to do with this. So, for example, without telling you the Easter egg, there is a show on Disney Plus called What If? And it really wasn't my cup of tea. I think I watched one or two and I thought they were like, okay, just not me. But my husband says, I think you need to watch this one because it's going to help you with the future movies coming out that are Marvel movies. Now that we are in what my husband and all you Marvelites call the meta universe, which is like my eyes crossing. Me going, what? It helps to it bounced off of Spider-Man. Spider-Man kind of helped me with that a little bit. And then we watched What If, and it kind of made it even more understandable for me. But if I'd have watched it before Spider-Man, I would have been like, I don't know, and I don't care. Right. But now it's pretty cool because there's a lot of Marvel movies coming out and they all intertwine, which is what my husband was trying to explain to me. Meta universe is things intertwining with each other, which is still a little confusing to me, but that's okay because I watch the movie and then I go explain the following to me. And my husband goes, bop, 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 bop. So that's what we did when we got home. We watched this particular What If. I'm not going to tell you what it is in case you haven't seen the movie, but afterwards, if you want to know, I will tell you. But you'll guess it because, you guys are smart. Not Uma, Aprish. Okay. No idea what you wrote there, Joe. dang it. No, it wasn't Oprah. Oprah wasn't that. That was Uma in the movie with Clooney. Yeah, not Oprah. It was Uma. She played Poison Ivy. Yeah, I know that. Because she was white. That doesn't mean that Uma did it because she was white. It means that wasn't Oprah because Oprah is not white. And so I know it wasn't Oprah. No, it was Uma. That I remember. But I remembered it because I didn't like either character. I thought both of them were like yawn. Yeah. You're really trying to say, look, you just keep saying it. Oh, you're too funny. You were funny. Jacob says it was more like they built a McDonald's play place in there and there was a light up game playing table, those kind of neat game tables where you tap and play with buttons and they light up. Yeah. Also pinball, which is my favorite. Of course, pinball's my favorite. Boom, 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 paddles and all that. Not really a super electronics person. Yeah, I'm not really a video game person because I get sick watching video games. Yeah, so I can't do that. But I feel you, man. I feel you. Darren says, Yzma is so awesome. I would take a sculpture of her. Yeah, I love her. She is so funny in that movie. And when I saw the previews for Emperor's New Groove, I wasn't impressed. Okay. But a friend, one of you wonderful people out there, sent me a deluxe edition of the DVD and said, watch it. And I was on the set at the time of the second Men in Black. And I started to watch it, and I was laughing so hard I had to turn it off because I could have interrupted the take, which is taboo. You know, they should have put me in a dressing room, but I digress on that. We'll talk about that later. But the point is that I started to laugh so loud that I said, I'm going to ruin the take, so I got to stop. So I take my lunch because I like to have time by myself, and I sit on a hot set meaning you're not to touch anything. They rope it off because they're going to come back and film it later. And stop me if I've told you this story before. Will Smith was walking by. He was hearing this laughing, okay, because I was the only one on the set. And I was laughing, and I laugh loud. I really laugh. And he came up behind me, and he said, what are you watching? And I said, oh, Will, you know, I'm watching Emperor's New Groove, and it's seriously funny. Let me show you the sequence. And I showed him the sequence with the log when they're both tied to the log. Pasha and the llama are tied to the log. And I don't know if you noticed it in the animation, but every time the log hits, it hits on the llama side, which is why the llama's not really happy about being tied to the log. Anyway, the best animation ever. It's so funny. And he watched that and he started cracking up. And I said, the beautiful thing about this movie is that animators were left to do a creative thing between point A and B, because that's what animation is about. What is the most creative way you can get from A to B and make it interesting, you know? So in the case of Emperor's New Groove, there's a bridge. But if you've seen that sequence, they don't just walk you across the bridge. There's all kinds of crazy fun ensues. So that movie was just lovely. And I was really glad that I watched it. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's sensational. Squeaka, 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 squeaka. Yeah, I just love that movie. And thank you for sending it to me, because I didn't think it was going to be that good, and it was really sensational. And then I met with the animators because I was talking Mickey Mouse at the time in Florida, about the time, and I ran into a lot of the animators who had been animating Emperor's New Groove, and I asked them how they got it past Disney, and they said Disney was focused on Treasure Planet, which I think was a dog of a movie. My own opinion. It's my opinion. It's just my opinion. And they said that, you know, it was kind of a look that way. So everybody was looking over here at Treasure Planet while the animators got to really make a great movie known as Emperor's New Groove. So that's how it happened. And yay, I told him my hats are off to you because I love you guys. Tim Gillette's in the house. Hi, honey. I'm sorry I haven't been able to see you on Wednesdays. Tax time. Yes, the January is the month Terry works very hard to stay out of jail. No, you got to pay your taxes, you know? So everyone in the U.S. must pay your taxes. So I'm no different. I have to pay my taxes. And as an artist, numbers are not what I painted. Let me just say that. So I'm working very hard to make sure all my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed with the people that help me to get my taxes paid properly. So this month has been that kind of a thing when I really want to get over and sculpt the Roly Chrome chess set. So there you go. But hi, Tim. Welcome. Unfortunately, I have to go, says Darren. We're doing pretty good. We're at 1 hour, 18 minutes. So we will be wrapping up soon. So you have a lovely time. And thank you for popping in, Darren. Great to see you. Just like Scar's quote, I'm surrounded by idiots. Exactly. And that made him vulnerable. For as evil as he was, Stephen, that he was vulnerable, you know, and that just a line helps us to love a villain a little bit, even though they're so terrible. Yeah. A good script is why great movies always start with great scripts. They do. They do. But sometimes there's a great script and then someone sticks their little hands in it and you have the too many cooks syndrome, and then a great script gets punked with. Yeah. So I really love Spiderman because it didn't get punked. Yeah. I had a button that said that years before The Lion King was made. Yes. Someone else was feeling it, right? Right. Joseph, good morning. So glad you enjoyed Spider-Man so much. I did. My husband was really shocked that I loved it as much as I did. But I told him it was the heart. You know, the Terry Harden broadcast was brought to you by Monster Energy. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, I do have it. My husband said, girl, you can talk. Yzma was portrayed by the Eartha Kitt. Yes, it was. The best Catwoman ever. She is a very good Catwoman, but I lean towards Michelle Pfeiffer. In fact, I cosplayed the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman right down to the clothes, sculpted the headdress, and did the gloves. In the version where she plays Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer plays Catwoman, she uses needles as her claws. I did not do that for mine because too dangerous around live people. And when you're getting ready to cosplay, the idea is to recreate that costume to the best of your ability, but also understand if there's some things happening in the movie, you got to watch out when you're in person. So you always interpret it. She used white thread in the movie. I used silver to make it sparkly and wonderful. And that character, I'm going to see if I can find it for you. I don't know if I can. How good is she that she can pop it up? I don't know if I can. See if I can find it. I loved costume contests when I was younger. It was not called cosplay. It was a costume contest. So very different but that's what you guys do now is here she is. Here's my Catwoman. I'll show you what she looks like. There she is. So that's the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. I sculpted the helmet, and then my friend and I made the outfit together. And then I used silver thread because I was presenting it at night. And so the light hit it and she twinkled. All the thread twinkled. And then the whip, I learned how to work the whip, and I have blue contacts in my eyes because Michelle's eyes are blue. So I really am like many cosplayers, very, very detailed about what I do, but I love that character. I loved Catwoman because I could sit down. A lot of my cosplay outfits, I can't sit down. So it was great to do that one. I haven't done costumes in a while. I've done them for others. I just haven't done them for myself. But at some point I might, I have a couple ideas of a couple I want to do. Would you like some Skippy peanut butter Batman? You're too funny. Sorry I missed the tribe chat this morning. I wanted to say thank you for the Donald Duck pants. Holly, you're welcome. You're welcome. And you're happy to know that I want to let you know that your art proof of the Cheshire Cat is kicked off already. Close to 20 cats sold. So thank you to you and your dear husband, Ryan. And I hope you like those Donald Duck pants. They're really cute. They're really, really cute. The tribe picked them for you. Not just me. I mean, I asked the tribe. You know how they are, Holly. You've been on there. They are very, very good at picking something that people like. I'm so impressed with them, really. No spoilers on Star Wars. It came out only 45 years ago. Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Joe. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, 1977 when I saw that, the room stretched for me. You ever see Jaws? The room stretches for the main character, Roy Scheider. That's what happened to me when I sat Star Wars. All of a sudden, there I was, a young kid going, my job. I can do that job. Not Han Solo or Luke Skywalker, but the chess set. Changed my life. Yeah. I knew that I had to find out how to do that work, and I did. Yeah. That's where it started. Put my feet upon the path. Good morning, Randy. Michael says, good morning, one and all. Hello, Michael Joseph Luzzy. We need to chat, my friend. Joe Penny says, one of these days I want to do paintings like Bob Ross and the German guy. Not sure if that's oils or what, but landscapes. That's oils. Yes, they're oils, and landscapes are great. And I think it's great, Joe, that you learn from Bob Ross, but don't be Bob Ross, okay? This is one of the challenges of poor Bob Ross. And if you've watched his documentary or the documentary about him and the challenges that they're having, so many people paint like Bob Ross that Bob Ross still has paintings going out because people can duplicate. He taught so well, they duplicate him. That's not your job. Okay, my opinion. But you want to duplicate your teacher for a little way to understand the process. Okay, but you don't want to become another Bob Ross so that they think you are Bob Ross, not Joe. Okay, there's so many people out there that are great about duplicating other creatives and their work. But the problem is when we look at it, we go, wow, that must be and then we see a different name underneath. And it should be you. You're going to work hard enough on it. It should be your style, which is why I'm working so hard to find my style. I love 1000 style. And if you're on YouTube, Google 1000 and take a look at his art. It's phenomenal. And he's such a vibrant young man. A lot of fun to watch. And he's great energy. But I don't want my work to look like his. I'm right now working on the color mixing and the techniques that he's teaching, and I'm kind of following along, but I pulled away based on his suggestions in the class so that I'm painting my first art piece. And it doesn't look at all like one of his, but it does show some influence because of the way I'm laying down the paint, because he's my teacher, but it doesn't look like his. Which is good, because I don't want people to look at mine and go, oh, 1000 painted that. No, wait, a student. You see, no. Okay, so when you do this, use Bob Ross to teach you. But once you've learned the techniques of landscape, put Bob away back in the drawer and start to play with what are you bringing in? Okay, and then we get to say, oh, that's a Joe. Okay, really important, unless you don't care. If your dream is to duplicate Bob Ross and that's where it stops, that's your right? But yeah, that's the challenge with a lot of Disney artists, is when they go and they do their own work, it can be reminiscent of other Disney artists. So if you look at it and it's different and you go, wow, that looks like a Mark Davis, and it's not Mark Davis, that's someone who just really might have been influenced by Mark Davis, and it looks just a bit too much like Mark Davis's art. So that's when you got to fight, my opinion, again, that you've got to fight to find your niche as a painter. And there's plenty. There's so many different ways that you can bring that to the table. Okay. I did my self-portrait. It doesn't look anything like my teacher's, but she really, but people liked it because it looked like me. It looks like me, the crazy me. But it was my first time painting in acrylic since high school. So I was very proud. I love these new acrylics that are starting, and how to use them. They talk to me about how to use them. So, yay, they are really awesome. I have teachers lined up because I want to try all the different techniques of all these different teachers. And then I think I'll put them all away and then just start painting. And what did I cherry pick from this teacher? What did I cherry pick from that teacher? What did I cherry pick from this teacher? One of the things I love about 1000 is his really, really bright colors. You may have seen one of the people on this channel, Janny Gilarnu, Janny G as I call her. She does bright colors and I love her work. And so I thought I'd like to try that. I tend to be someone who's very much, I'm just realizing, I'm realizing that I did not have this on, but it looks like my guy hasn't. People, how do I say this? People have done me a real favor. My cousin has been shopping for me since COVID, and he doesn't want to stop because we get to sit and chat when he brings the groceries by. So he still goes and gets my groceries every Monday, but I've got to have the phone on dinging in case he has a question. And I got so happy with you guys that I forgot I turned the phone off. So I just turned it back on. So thank you for that. But landscapes are great. And there's so many interesting ways you could paint a landscape. And there's so many interesting landscapes that you can capture. So you've got a lot, but Bob Ross is a good springboard. And the German guy, too. Great place to start. Great place to start. Yeah. Cornell Theater, Glendale. Yep. 60 cents a seat. Shows you how old I am. Wah, wah. But I'm young at heart. Yep. Jimmy Buffett. Yeah. Can you imagine meeting Jimmy Buffett? I mean, maybe you can't. But meeting Jimmy Buffett was a killer for me. I thought, man, the guy who has Jimmy Buffett at his event, he's the bee's knees, and he really is. He really is. He's got connections. He used to be the personal assistant to Guns N' Roses and Journey when he was younger, and so he's a rockers type, and he met all kinds of rockers. He knew all kinds of rocker people. He's written a book called Welcome to My Jungle, but people kind of didn't like it because he didn't dish dirt in that. So he's sorry he wrote it, actually, and he had it published. He said, hindsight being 2020, he probably wouldn't have written it, which is why be careful what you wish for, because sometimes you get it published and it doesn't really do for you what it should. But I got to tell you, it's so much fun to be in this guy's presence, because just being around this guy, he's a dynamic, energetic, positive person, like Tim Gillette. You saw Tim Gillette come through. He's the same way. But we were all at a theater in Texas. We gathered for an event before the pandemic when Bohemian Rhapsody came out, and we all went to a theater where you can eat at your seat. They like bring, it feels like a car hop, except for it's in a movie theater, and they bring you your food and they set it down. And we had like a giant sundae where we were watching this movie. It was amazing. And we were surrounded by we surrounded this fella, and he was texting, not during the movie, before the movie and after movie, he was texting the guitarist from Queen. And afterwards, we all got to like do an audio message. He like calls this guy up, and we got to tell him like from the back. So you know how the phone is, and you hold it up and it's on speaker, and everybody said, "We love the movie and yay for you." And we got to say this to the drummer. No, I think it was a guitarist from, Tim would know this, from Queen. So we actually got to talk to one of the band members of Queen and tell him how much we loved that movie and how excited we were about that movie. And it really touched his heart. He really liked it. But I mean, you see, you never know what circles other people have. So you always are nice and kind, because you might get an experience you just never expected, because yeah. Ted Lasso, my favorite series, has a great episode in season 1, and I call it Be Curious, Not Judgmental, Walt Whitman. The Be Curious, Not Judgmental episode is amazing. And he's so right. They're so right. I'm so glad they pulled this out, because when you're curious and not judgmental of something, it opens doors for you. It opens some cool doors. It's really good. It's really great. So be curious, not judgmental. Lovely. Oh, vinyl's back for about a decade or so now. New music gets limited vinyl releases. It's a boutique niche. It's that, I tell you, a friend of mine who I think he won an Academy Award. I'm not sure if he did, but he's visual effects guru, genius type, And he knows a guy who actually owns the company that makes the vinyl, and the machines were designed in 1940 and they've not been rebuilt. So he said originally he was hanging on and all the other vinyl companies died, and he's the only one now. And that's why they're limited. Yeah. He's got to use everything he's got in his brain to keep those vinyl presses working. Grand Funk Railroad, that's it. Thank you. 3D album was called Shining On. Yeah, it's great. The glasses were in there and everything. Oh, those were the days. So cool. So cool. Thank you. Bobby Caldwell, What You Won't Do for Love came in a 12-inch red heart. There you go. Right? I'm telling you guys, these were what do they say today? The bomb? Oh, so cool. Yeah, really, my heart broke when they stopped doing vinyl. Yeah. Joe says, https www.discogs.com release Grand Funk Shining On. There you go. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Copy that down. Go check it out. Thank you, Joe. Undiscoveredmusic.com, stories, Grand Funk. See, another one. See, he's going to give you them all if you want to learn about it. I may still have the album in the bowels of my garage. I'm not sure. It could be. Michelle Dwinell says, I love vinyl. To me, it sounds alive, like it breathes. Yeah, I felt that way about the Victrola with the horn. I did not like Frank Sinatra until I heard him on a Victrola. And that is where the term put a sock in it comes from. If the music was too loud in the Victrola, you rolled up a sock and stuffed it down the throat of the horn. Did you know that? That's what it's from. Digital recordings are too sterile, if that makes sense. No, it makes perfect sense. And now I'm collecting the all-new colored vinyl because it's also eye candy. I'm telling you. Right? Laser discs are the same way. They have a rainbow. In fact, mine autographed by Michael Jackson. I love when the sun hits it because it has a rainbow shimmer across the disc, which were 12-inch discs. Gorgeous, amazing, fabulous. If you don't know what a laser disc is, let me know. I'll show you one. So Nice was very definitely in Fantasyland at Disneyland in Anaheim. Yeah. I wrote it before. I'm not sure I've ridden it since. I wrote it at the Imagineering, but I don't know. But I liked it. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantabulous. Fantabulous. I have a cousin that if you question about Marvel character, you have to be prepared for the 2-hour-long backstory. Exactly. And some people, Joseph, love that 2-hour backstory. I mean, they'll be right with you, and you can make a whole day of it because not me. Just give me the Cliff Notes version. They still make Cliff Notes for you guys. Give me the synopsis version and I'm fine. Is that an android, a robot, or what? It's a blank. Done. That works for me. And sometimes when you're a Marvelite, a super Marvelite, that's kind of hard because you want to explain the whole backstory of it. But understand that you got to understand your audience. And sometimes your audience they just want to know who it is. Mm-hmm. Almost Famous Bus. Yeah, it was. It is. It was fun. Yeah. It's a nice. Yeah, they Country Bears did its own deal with it, but yep, that's correct. That's it. Golden Oak Ranch in Newhall. Yeah, it is a ranch you have to be in a film to get on, or know someone from a film that you can get on and get in there. Yeah. When we went and saw The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything, a VeggieTales movie, it was probably an AMC type movie theater. I think so. Anyway, we were the only people in the entire theater. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's possible. You don't have to pay $600 to rent a theater. Sometimes you just have to wait a bit. I mean, 6 people is a great in Barca Loungers. That's nobody in that theater. Okay. We had a great time. Yeah, it was brilliant. It works. So if you're like Connie, who wants to go with her, I think you said nephew, Connie, and you want to just be safe, now's the time to check out. And that's the nice thing online. You can look at all the theaters and see the seats, where they're spaced and everything. Technology is beautiful today with that. Then you're not surprised. Works out great. If you really want to not be near anything and everything, you can pre-order your snacks and stuff, and you pick them up at a window and they're in a bag, and you've already paid for them. You just go, here's my name, and you're done. I mean, they've really done a lot of touchless stuff that works great. Yes, indeed. That's also pretty much the very first time it ever happened. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love seeing people all kinds get together and laugh, but if I could just have a room to myself, well, especially now. But you remember before the lounge chairs, you had to deal with someone texting on their phone or taking a picture they shouldn't or chatting. Now you've got those lounge chairs. You can isolate yourself really nice, pick a show, pick a place, and you're all by yourself pretty much. You don't even notice the people, and you feel like you're in your living room. It was lovely yesterday. Really, really lovely. Fun fact about Disney Ranch, it used to be the Golden Oaks Ranch, and it was called that because gold nuggets of California were discovered. I didn't know that. Thank you, Evan. I had no idea that was the reason. A lot of my followers wanted to go because of Spin and Marty. You remember that show? Yeah, there's a bridge there that I guess Spin and Marty spent. I don't really watch that show, so I didn't know. But I brought the people in, and then I asked the ADs, that's assistant directors in film, if they could go and take pictures in the various spots, and the ADs were really sweet about allowing us to do that. So that's where we filmed a lot of the Country Bears. Most of the Country Bears was filmed there. Then there's a car wash in North Hollywood that we filmed the sequence, the whole car wash sequence. It's it's off of Magnolia, just east of Cahuenga Boulevard in North Hollywood, if you want to go check it out. It's changed a little bit. They think they redid some of the things, but it was the one where we filmed. And then we filmed in Griffith Park, and we filmed, but mostly we filmed at the ranch. Yeah, the ranch is big, so we had lots of room to film. Yep. I understand that the upcoming movie, The Batman, runs almost 3 hours and has 8 minutes of end credits. Yeah, that one right now, the previews are too much sensory overload. So I understand that when you're trying to do a trailer or a preview, you aren't privy to a lot of stuff because it can leak out and people do spoilers. So you can't judge from the previews if the movie's going to be good or bad, because a lot of these people nowadays can't fully prep you for the movie. So always go. I'm looking forward to that because I'm excited to see a Batman who fights. It's kind of cool. However, I really liked the first one and the second one because he was intellectual, he was smart, and I liked the Christopher Bale one because he was more modern. Kind of interesting to see modern technology applied to Batman. It was just really cool to me. So I do like the character. I think this new one is going to be very, very interesting. I'm not sure I'm digging the Catwoman. I saw the preview of the Catwoman, and I think her cowl looks like a scuba diving mask. And so I'm not really buying it, but it could have changed. It could be early. So I'm reserving. She seems to be very, very nimble. And that's what we love about our Catwoman. But we'll see. We'll see. Because that mask really bothered me. I thought it looked like a snorkel. Like here. You remember Richard Dreyfuss and Jaws? I got no spit. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. So I'm not really buying it right now, but we'll see. The jury is out on that one. Yeah. Terry, Dale Bear? Yes, I do. Did Yzma for me when he did our lecture series at the library. He was always so generous. Rest in peace. Yeah, great guy. Great guy. Yeah, Yzma is amazing. And so was he, Dale. Oh, miss Dale. We miss Dale, don't we, Bob? Yeah. Yeah, we do. He's up there flying around, though. He's with Walt. Wings and Walt. What's a better combination than that, right? I would just love and would probably go to the movie theaters all the time then. I also love the cozy, nostalgic feeling that you two, while you're sitting in the theater watching the film. It's lovely. I mean, I'm serious. Blanket and a pillow. Mm-hmm. I love it. In fact, I took my dad to see Cars. Like Cars had what was it? Cars had like oh no, Incredibles 2. And my dad fell asleep through it because he just loved the Barcalounger. He didn't care. He didn't care what movie it was. He loved that Barcalounger. So away he went. That was before the pandemic also. Yeah, a lot of this I tell you with people. I'm late today. Been fighting a migraine. Oh, Janet. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. These migraines they suck. They basically suck. Bob Burdine would say at this point that there is an Herbalife product you might be interested in that may help you with that. All natural. So if you're interested, hit me up or Bob Burdine up. And if not, pretend I didn't say anything. But I've been worrying about you with these migraines because you've had a couple of them, my love. Jacob says, or as they say, the movie film industry, a motion picture, they still call them that, don't they? In my world. Yeah, exactly. They do. I still say film, and they haven't been filmed for a long time. Well, some have. Some avant-garde artists want to have film, and they use film. But, that's where I'm from, is film. Yeah, so I say film. Movie, motion picture, it all works for me. I know Eternals wasn't a favorite of a lot of fans, but like you know about all the tie-ins between Marvel movies, there will be some significance. Yeah, that's the thing. Essentials, is that what they're called? Eternals. Ugh, eternally boring. But there's they are a cog in a puzzle. They are a puzzle piece. And so we watch it hoping that we'll understand the puzzle piece in the future. I personally fell asleep, so my husband will have to explain it to me because, wow, ugh, that movie was a slog. Oh, dear gosh. Ugh. I don't know. Who wants to talk to people who stand around? That's their job. Oh, I'm watching. I don't know. Just, ugh. There's a reason that comic didn't do too well either. It's according to my husband. Yeah. You don't laugh, you laugh. I do. I have tons of stories where I laughed out loud and people just were like, "Oh my gosh, you are so funny." Julie Newmar, the Catwoman in 1960s from the TV show, was so beautiful. Yes, she was, and she did a real good. Yeah, she really did. She did a great purr. You know, she was great. She had a great angular face too, Julie. She's beautiful. She's very beautiful. Yeah. Still, you can't beat a bullwhip. And I love having learned to do the bullwhip because of Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. That Catwoman. We just watched that movie a couple days ago, and I had completely forgotten it. But the only thing I remembered about that movie and Michelle Pfeiffer was her whipping the heads off of the mannequins. That's all I could remember. Yeah. So it was fun to watch. I forgot Christopher Walken was in it, and he's a lust object for me. I love Christopher Walken. It was just a great time to revisit because I don't remember movies. My husband can remember movies after seeing it once. I'll forget them right after if I've seen them a million times and then haven't for a while. So it's like seeing it all over again. It was great to see that movie, Batman Returns, with the Penguin. Because we were talking about the new Batman, and my husband was explaining to me that the Penguin isn't really a penguin. It's supposed to be a crime lord that wore tuxedos back in the time when Batman was established in the 40s. So people would call them penguin suits, the tuxes. And so this was a crime lord who wore a tux, therefore called the Penguin. And then he had a nose, like he had a big nose. So that's what they've got going in this new Batman. The Batman is a crime lord who probably is going to wear like the tux type thing. And then he has a nose. And that's why they called him the Penguin. And if you remember in the 40s, they used to name thugs, crime lords, single names like Scarface or Babyface or all that. So it fits. So that's what I like to hear from my husband. It's like, okay, so he wasn't really a penguin like the Tim Burton penguin where he had the little, Danny DeVito played him and he had the little flippers and everything. He was kind of this strange creature. What they're saying is that they're kind of going back to the original Batman story where the Penguin is a character, not a creature. So could be cool. Yeah. Could be cool. Yeah. Could be cool. I have a good idea. Maybe you could invite a special guest to your chat sometimes, maybe like your friend Lynette. I hope that I spelled that right. You did good. Don't tell her if I spelled it wrong. I won't. Yeah, I might bring her on because she's going to be here, but I'm not an interviewer. That's not me. Okay. I might do it. I mean, many of you have said, if I happen to come across somebody that I think will be in a good interview, we'll do the deal. And then I'll put it on, I'll post it later. But you guys got so many great people that interview. I'm just kind of like, no. Yeah, no. But I love watching your interviews of people and being interviewed. So thank you for the suggestion, Jacob. Gosh, I forgot how funny Emperor's New Groove was. I used to watch it all the time. Yeah, it's brilliant. That is a brilliant show. Have mercy on me. LOL, just kidding. No. You're fine. I'm not judging you at all. I'm curious, not judgmental. Ted Lasso. Love Ted Lasso. Which, by the way, if you watch Ted Lasso, there's a surprise in Spiderman. And that's all I want to say. It was a shocker. And I love shockers. So there you go. Alamo Drafthouse Cinema, they have one in downtown. Is that the one that has So's Food? It wasn't called that in Texas, but it was a great theater. I had never seen anything like it. It's kind of challenging because it wasn't a lounge chair. It was one of those, where you're all tight like this and you're trying to eat like this and still watch the movie. So it was a little bit tight when you were, oh, look, my sundae. I can't see past my sundae because the table is about the size of a dinner plate. But it was still fun. It was really fun. I had never had in it. Brian May, guitarist for Queen. Yeah, I don't know if it was Brian. It might have been Brian. I don't know. I don't know people's names. I don't, like I knew Meatloaf. I knew Meatloaf because of Rocky Horror Picture Show. And then I met him on a plane. I ran into him on Southwest Airlines. I mean, don't you run into everybody on Southwest Airlines? At least you used to. And he's lovely. He was a lovely man. And I told him I just loved him as Meatloaf because I played Magenta for over 2 years at the Tiffany Theater. So, and he came down actually to see us and we knew each other. I reminded him of that. We did the time warp together. It was really cool. But a lovely man, and Bad Out of Hell is one of my favorites, but I can't listen to music while working, and I'm working a lot. So I have to have a movie that I can play in my head or a series of television shows like Kung Fu that I have memorized so that I don't have to watch it. I can play it here. Downton Abbey too. I've met Jimmy Buffett more than once. He is amazing. And Janet, accessible, right? I never thought someone like that would be so accessible. What a sweet fella. And very generous. You're absolutely right. Yeah, wowzer is what I have to say. Yeah. Shelby, hi Shelby. Been a while. I dropped by. How you doing? What do you think about Encanto? I loved Encanto. Some people said they didn't, but I loved it. It let me feel again. It wasn't as good as Spiderman for feeling, but it really was good as animation for feeling because I'm getting really tired of people stopping me from feeling stuff in their movies. I don't need a fluffy bed to fall in. Please let me feel it. Yeah, I will. Thanks. Indeed. Barcalounger places you in a specific time frame. Well, I did the Flintstones, both movies. So that's where it comes from. Yeah, that's where it comes from, Stephen. All got some history, some thread in my history, right? Just like Nagas and Nagahide. Never heard that one. Never heard that one before. So, okay. Stephen, you're right. Herbalife is one of the best products I've come across, thanks to Terry. They have a wide spectrum of products. Terry and I drink the energy tea. You lose weight. I lost 100 pounds. It is something that I do because I have a busy lifestyle. So I really should have made a shake today because I can drink the shake, get my nutrition in a shake, and not have to worry about not having breakfast. But today I kind of lost track of time. It's cooler weather and I'm comfy and cozy next to my husband. We wake up, we talk about stuff. Today it was jury duty and stuff like that. But yeah. So honestly, I had to jump out and do the treasure chest today, which was fabulous. But reach out to me, Janet, and I'll tell you what it is. Okay. I helped another lady with migraines. So that's why I'm saying there's two things. If you're okay with nitric oxide, it's called Nightworks. It's a drink you drink. It's lemon flavor and mango flavor. It was designed by Dr. Lou Ignarro, who won the Nobel Prize for his study in this. Nightworks, Nitewrks. Just Google it. You'll see his name. And then if you want some, that's a thing that really works well. But then there's another one, and we'll talk about that one later. But honestly, it's not to peddle, Janet. It's just that I've eaten Herbalife since 2009, and I was a representative. I'm still a distributor because I have some downline. It's multi-level. But most of them are customers. Most of them are people who like the food. They don't go to the rah-rahs. Neither do I really. I just sort of take care of them. So I have a woman who loves the mango because the mango takes out the diuretic part of it and it comes in amazing flavors. And she's had 18 different types of cancer and it just helps with her acid reflux. Mango aloe is her favorite. And so she has been my customer since 2010. And it's just that she drinks it and it helps with her acid reflux. I'm not saying any health claims. It just helped her. Perhaps those kind of things can help you. That's all. It's not an ad thing, doesn't cure. It just, if you have a situation where you need some help, it helps. And it tastes delicious. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. Nap, nap. And Bob is a giver. Yes, he is. If it wasn't Alamo Dress House, which was created in Austin, and it might have been Studio. That's it, Studio Movie Grill. That's what we went to. But we were in Austin. We were in Dallas. Yeah, we all went. There must have been about like 20 of us, and it was great. It was really fun. I had never been to a theater like that. I never have. I thought it was really cool. Yeah. But what I like better is the lounge seats. And AMC has that, what's it called? It's a little bar where you can get a little alcoholic drink if you want. How decadent is that? A little glass of wine or, a cocktail. You can take it into the theater, and sip on it with your food. I did that one time with a hot toddy, which thank goodness they had because my throat was a little tired. And then I also did it with a whiskey sour because I love sour. I love sour and alcohol drinks. Ooh, makes me crazy. But I don't drink a lot of that. But I read, I was studying, because my husband's a whiskey person. So I got him for his birthday a whiskey tasting thing. We still have yet to really dive into that. But he was really touched because he loves Islay, I think how you say it, in Ireland. They have an island there, and there are 8 breweries for whiskey, and each one has a different type of I'll remember it in a minute. Peat moss in the whiskey. And so I called up and talked with someone who knew this really well and got him some to taste. But at the time, I learned that bars, if they are going to maintain themselves and you have a bar that you love, it's really important to buy their mixed drinks, because this is where they make their money. I actually think I heard that from Bar Rescue, actually, that show on Paramount with that crazy guy, Joe Tamper or whatever his name is, who's like, mafia. What are you doing? He's so funny. But anyway, he starts to talk about how the mixed drinks are how a person, beer is not where they make their money, and wine not necessarily. They really make their money when they create mixed cocktails. So if you have a bar you love, grab a mixed cocktail to help them out a little bit, and the food works too. Many of them used to be like bars, just drinks, but now they're finding out they got to be like a gastropub, I guess it's called. Anyway, we don't spend a lot of time in those places right now because of COVID, but I will say that I learned a lot. And so when I go in, I'll ask them if they have a super sour mixed drink so that I can support them a little bit, because I'm not someone who just knocks it back 24/7. I'm not a beer drinker. I don't like the flavor of it. But I love sour. So, that's kind of the thing, right? Yeah. Okay. Steven says Brian May is also astrophysicist. He's very involved in 3D photography. Yeah, I think that's him, but I'm not sure. I'll try it. And both. Yeah. Just reach out to me, take a look at it, Janice. If you have any questions, let me know. You've got to order it through a distributor. So that would be me. Reach out and I'll get you some. Okay. I'll even get you a sample if you want to try it first. Okay. Because I'm willing to do that for you. You'll love Alamo Draft House in downtown LA. Then they have a great food and drinks and fun programming. Yeah. Don't know if I'll do it now because of COVID. I'm very, very careful. Night work is a godsend for my wife. I liken to having hamburger. You tell your friends you have to get that cheeseburger. That's what Herbalife is for us. Yeah, Rose had some other challenges. It's just Nightworks helps with circulation, and migraine is a circulation issue. So sometimes it can help. Yeah, it can help on it. If you have any questions, DM me, okay? And I'll help you, Janet. MacGuffins, yes, exactly. Thank you, Stephen. John Taffer, yeah, a Bar Rescue fame. He's from Las Vegas. He's like those old mafia guys, What are you doing? I watched you on the camera, and what are you doing? You're crazy. You're crazy. You don't do this. You're losing $1 million in free drinks. Is that the way you run your business? I just love this guy. So he's funny. you love your guys, you love your views, right? Midori Sowies are tasty. Yes, they're great. And one of my favorite places to go at Animal Kingdom in Florida is Yak and Yeti. I love the bartenders there. The food is fresh and delicious, and the drinks are fabulous. So, but it's just the whole all the components coming together at Yak and Yeti is so great. And my friend John, I thank him a million times going there. And then also he takes me to get ice cream at a place in Florida that's shaped like an ice cream cone because I kind of dig stuff like that. So so there you go. Crazy me. So yeah, I told you this is about everything. If you're out there listening and you're not speaking and thinking, boy, this girl is on every kind of tangent, welcome to my channel. Just found out there's a studio movie grill in Simi Valley. Yes, I think I heard that. But thank you, Joe. Guys, we did it. We're just under 2 hours, and I am going to say I love you guys. Happy Monday. Have a great week. Consider joining Terry's tribe. It's a lot of fun. We have a Zoom call this Wednesday. All kinds of fun stuff. You've heard it here from many of the tribe members. If you want to be a part of it, $5 a month, $60 a year is all it takes. Some people, do more, but I'm focusing on that one right now. I am creating other tiers that will give you more, not more than, like training, for example. If you want to train with me, I'll have a tier for that. So coming soon. But let me finish Rolly Crumb's chess set first. I'll talk about that if you want to learn more about it. Remember, Ask Me Anything Friday is coming up for you. So I will see you then. Please do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. If you're feeling depressed and sad, doing something for someone else kind of goes and washes over you and makes you feel good as well. So I love you guys. Thank you for hanging in there with me. You're so sweet and wonderful. And more later. Okay. Take care. Hugs, kisses. Last thought of the day, sketchbook app on iPad, but there's so many, that's what makes YouTube so very special. Lots and lots of training and ideas.